Thanos had been lurking around the MCU for so long, we aren't sure what we're going to do without him out there floating in his giant chair and looming menacingly. But we're going to have to figure it out because Thanos was finally defeated during Avengers Endgame. Sure, it cost us some heroes, bent the rules of time and space, and tested the tensile strength of our bladders, but Thanos is finally gone. So let's look back on just how he went out. During Avengers Infinity War, saying there were many deaths was an understatement. In case you missed it, Thanos wiping out half of all life in the universe was a pretty major plot point. But there were some heroes Thanos destroyed personally, including Vision. After begging his love Wanda Maximoff to kill him in order to destroy the Time Stone, Vision was brought back to life by Thanos only to be smashed into oblivion. Talk about overkill. So maybe it was poetic justice that we didn't just get to see Thanos die once, but twice during Avengers Endgame. Of course, we also had trouble picturing just how Thanos was going to be taken down. Even without the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity Stones, he's still incredibly strong. He punched the Hulk back to Bruce Banner, for goodness sakes. How could our heroes expect to take him down with a fully charged up Infinity Gauntlet? Well, it turns out we weren't the only ones with this question. According to Endgame writers Christopher McFeely and Stephen Marcus, they also struggled to find out how our heroes were going to save the day. They spent weeks wondering how our heroes could destroy the most powerful being in the universe. Fortunately, they got some help from executive producer Trin Tran, who uttered a question that would solve this massive Marvel movie dilemma. Can't we just kill him? Genius! So the writers decided to have our heroes do just that at the beginning of the movie. We learned that Thanos used the Infinity Stones to destroy the Infinity Stones in order to not tempt himself with using them again, and to prevent anyone from undoing the decimation. It also drove home the point that Thanos was completely finished with his life's work after causing the decimation. He didn't even put up a fight against our heroes because he had no reason to. As much as we loved that Thor finally went for the head this time, watching Thanos' big ol' stupid purple dome fly off his neck just wasn't as satisfying as we thought it would be. And that's because the Mad Titan was right. He had won, and his death didn't change that. We're not gonna lie, things looked pretty grim for our heroes following Infinity War, and somehow destroying Thanos made them look even worse. It was a great move, which somehow managed to make us even feel more hopeless and depressed, so thanks for that. And also taught us that revenge doesn't solve anything. Well, we kind of learned that during the last movie when Thor didn't aim for the head, but we always appreciate a refresher. But as we all know, hope wasn't actually lost, it was just kind of missing for a few years. However, after a long and extremely badass battle, Thanos was ultimately defeated by none other than Tony Stark. He used the Infinity Stones to defeat all of his enemies and save the day, but at the expense of his own life. When Thanos claimed to be inevitable, Tony Stark countered with "I am Iron Man," a throwback to the 2008 Iron Man movie which kicked off the whole MCU. But was Thanos really destroyed? Did the mightiest hero the MCU has ever known simply fade to dust and blow away in the wind? It certainly seems like it, and the rest of the movie seems to drive home the point that he's gone for good. After all, some of the greatest heroes in the entire universe were completely stumped on how to undo the decimation the first time it happened. It was only thanks to the true greatest hero, the rat that let Scott Lang out of the quantum realm, that our heroes even had a 1 in 14 million chance of succeeding. Someone would have to figure out all of this, go through time and space to collect the Infinity Stones, forge an Infinity Gauntlet, and probably sacrifice themselves to pull it off. Not only is all of that practically impossible, but who would go through all of that for Thanos? As far as we know, all of his allies are gone along with him. Instead of wishing for Thanos to be destroyed, Tony could have wished for him to become trapped in the Soul World located inside the Soul Stone. In the comic books, the Silver Surfer gets trapped in the Soul Gem and is ultimately released by Adam Warlock. So there's a slim precedence for something like this happening before. There's also a character named Supergiant in the comic books, who's a loyal and extremely powerful member of Thanos' Black Order. She didn't make it into Infinity War, but her incredible psychic powers and ability to control others mean she could have a chance of bringing him back. But while the comic book version of Supergiant may be the best suited of the Black Order to complete this task, she doesn't even exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So while you might mourn the loss of Thanos, or at least his role in the MCU, stay strong. Even though it seems massively unlikely that he'll ever return, we have no doubt Marvel Studios will give us a new, terrifying villain. There are tons of candidates in the comic books from Galactus to Annihilus, all of which could put the entire world in dire peril, just like Thanos used to. Now we can start scrutinizing every moment of Spider-Man Far From Home, looking for clues about the next big Marvel villain. Well, we're going to do that anyway, to be honest, but now we'll be looking even more closely. What do you think about the way we said goodbye to the Mad Titan? Do you think it was a fitting farewell, or would you have preferred things to go down differently? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below, and then click subscribe for more great videos from CBR. We'll see you next time, Marvel fans.